Hey, this is Monday Mornings with Mitch podcast. I'm your host, Mitch Morse. And yes, I did lose a wager, and I wanted to look as much like a walrus as I possibly could. We're both here with shoddy Wi-Fi. When I say we, of course, I mean Casey Hahi. Case, give me
What's
the good
up?
news, kid. Give me some great news.
That you're auditioning to be a fireman? Is that?
It's so,
I mean, that is a good looking mustache right there. There's no question about it. But we do have an awesome guest for you. Thanksgiving, you talk about giving thanks and things you're thankful for and things of that nature. And this dude loves being one that gives, and super cool hang and great conversation, and another former teammate of Mitch's, and it's a good listen for when you're eating that leftover turkey next week and all that leftover stuffing. It'll be a great listen for you.
I agree. Micah Hyde is one of the greatest humans. And I know I say this every time we talk to someone, truly. But he was such a solid hang, an amazing football player. And we just had a great chat. So I'm really hoping you guys enjoy it as much as you hopefully enjoy this mustache. Sit back, relax, and take in the episode with old Micah Hyde.
I've got a long list of real good reasons for all the things I've done. And regret is just a memory written on my brow. And there's nothing I can do about it now.
Well, Case, who do we have here? We have a all-pro, pro bowler, a ball Hawkeye, 34-year-old, hailing, I believe, in San Diego, California, one of my favorite teammates of all time, Micah Hyde.
What's up, fellas?
Yes,
What is
dude.
up?
Dog, so we're catching you on some bad Wi-Fi. We're catching you
Terrible.
between stuff. It's Thanksgiving weekend. You're going to be a dad.
Yeah,
And you're going to a movie. Can I guess what movie you're taking your kids to?
you know it. You already know.
Is it Zootopia 2?
Yes, bro. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Bingo.
Come on, man. You're such a dad.
Yes.
I love it.
Bingo. Oh, because honestly,
I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited for it too. By the way,
because the first one slapped
Yes.
super hard.
Yes. So I mean, the kids don't even need to go. If they start acting up, they can stay. They can stay out. I'm going to see it.
Dude, you and the lady can get frisky in the movie theaters watching a little bit of Zootopia 2.
That's what I'm
That's the
saying.
perfect date night in the 30s.
No, at 3:00.
So at 3 o'clock, honestly, the perfect time, because then you have a little bit of something in the afternoon, later
Yep.
in the evening. You don't have to just like straight snooze after your nervous system's been blasted
Oh, yeah.
for straight 3 hours and
Back.
a delicious thing.
Yep.
Dog, so tell me, I know last year was a little bit of a caveat in regards to playing,
Mm-hmm.
but it was still playing. I mean, you're still enthralled in the season, your whole crew, you're still taken away as a dad. Give me a little bit of the update on the Micah Hyde, the Hyde family, now that you're fully encompassed in the fatherhood lifestyle.
Yeah, man. It's honestly, man, I'm extremely happy. And I'm staying busy as ever. Just got done coaching both the kids in soccer. As you know, we do a lot with our nonprofit Imagine for Youth, and staying busy with the events and stuff that we have to do there. Hyde's Hail Mary. I wish you would have gave me like a 2-week notice or a week notice, man. I'd have some Hail Marys right in front of you guys right now, so we could be sipping them. But that's keeping me busy. I'm learning a lot when it comes to the hemp beverage and stuff like that. And yeah. And so
Nice.
managing some properties. So I'm extremely busy, man, and I'm just doing stuff that I love to do. And that's what retirement is about. And so here I am.
Call me naive. I didn't know quite the entrepreneur that my friend Micah Hyde was. That's a remarkable. No, I didn't. I knew you had the stank to you. I knew you had the sauce.
Yeah,
I just didn't know
well,
you had. I didn't know you initiated the sauce.
Well, I mean, you can have the sauce, but you also got to be. We got to be, making money. So, it's not a $1 billion. It's not a $1 billion business by any means yet. So we'll get there hopefully eventually. But right now, it's kind of just a small business and trying to make it work.
Well, remember the commoners with bad Wi-Fi when you do make it the whole way through, because that's going to be a beautiful thing. Dog. So I got to meet Micah, not truly, it was more in passing He actually ended up ruining one of the best weeks of my life. This was back in 2010. I was a young pup, a freshman. We're in the Insight Bowl.
Yeah.
It was Iowa versus Missouri. I wasn't playing as redshirting, and you know how those bowl games are when you got no dog in the hunt. Of course, you want the fellas to go do this thing, but you're waking up with a hangover every day, kind of doing their thing.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pretty good game, if I remember, to a point.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
To a point.
Season's on the line. To a point.
Yeah.
Season's on the line, and I'm telling you, talk about a ball hawk. This dude flies in the air, picks off Blaine Gabbert, and I'm like, all right, well, at least one guy's going to tackle this fucking dude. Nope. It was poetry in motion, man. This guy goes, and the place, because Iowa travels really well.
Yeah.
Poetry in motion.
Throws it away. Threw it right to Micah Hyde. Hyde's taking one back for a touchdown this year. Iowa's returned 3 interceptions for touchdowns this year. This might be another. Micah Hyde all the way. Touchdown Iowa.
Tell us a little bit about, because we have about 5 or 10 people from Missouri that watch this show.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about ripping the heart out of the Missouri Tiger faithful.
Well, look, man, you said you were a freshman. I was a sophomore, right? So I was I started that season, I played pretty well, but I was still like, fairly new, and, it was Big Ten football, right? Like I was at that time probably only 180 pounds. I'm trying to defend Wisconsin's run game and stuff like that. So I was trying to make a name for myself. So it was cool to actually go to the Insight Bowl, get away from the Iowa weather and go to a play against a team with, Blaine Gabbert that was, projected one of the top quarterbacks coming out, and was throwing the ball all over the place. And I still think he threw probably for over 300 yards, but, he just made one mistake and I was able to capitalize on it. And that was kind of my welcome, to college football moment, just because, I was able to make that play, got defensive player of the game because of that play. And then from there, it kind of sparked my career. So, I'm sorry to the Missouri fans that had to witness that.
You're welcome.
It was kind of the spark that sparked my career. So,
Doug, and talking about spark on a beautiful career. So you go on 2012 DB of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a super cool honor. Get drafted in Green Bay, have 4 years there. Then you go over to Buffalo. And, of course, I know that history pretty well.
Yeah.
Just one of the most beautiful duos of safeties. Those boys were yins and yangs, maybe personality-wise at times, but, like, playing together, it was cool, like a flow state for the fellas, man. Really fun.
Yeah, it was.
Looking now, I mean, you 7, really 8 years there, right? And seeing what, of course, you've been asked about this whole rebuild thing and all that. We were all just kind of along for the ride, but definitely, I mean, you had a stake in that thing. You claimed a stake. Is it kind of fun to see, because Bills Mafia has gotten a life of its own, right? You've seen that whole thing. And, of course, there's a little bit of that while you were there, when you first got there. But now you talk about Bills, it's not the same. So tell us about the maturation of that, what it's like to see the fans that you called home for so long have a life of its own, have a personality that's almost larger than the team, it seems like.
Yeah, it's obviously it's an honor just to be, I've been in Green Bay for 4 years, and that place was amazing. Like I looking back now, I can't even like fathom that I was a rookie, playing in Lambeau Field, for 4 years, and rookie through my 4th season. I guess I didn't really see it like that, because once again, I was trying to make a name for myself. I wanted to be an NFL player and make plays like that. But then going to Buffalo, I remember hopping off that plane and being like, why did I do this? This is terrible. And then even the first time I brought Amanda there from San Diego, I brought her up to Green Bay a few times. She lived with me the last season I was there. Then I brought her over to Buffalo. We brought her home and stuff. But the first time we landed there, and I was there solo the first time. The second time she came with me, and I was just like, still can't believe I'm doing this. Like we were trying to find like other than the Bills store, we were trying to find like Buffalo T-shirts and stuff like that, and it was low key hard to do, right? And you didn't just see, obviously you saw people wearing Bills, T-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that, but it's not like today. Like today is every single person when you're walking through Target or you're walking through wherever is wearing Buffalo Bills gear, and it's an everyday thing. Back then they were so trash, right? Like they didn't go to the playoffs in 17 years, so like I was like, man, look, like I don't know what's about to happen. Obviously playing alongside, Poe and then they drafted, Tre'Davious, Milano, D-Dog, those type of guys. And the next year was Tremaine and Josh and all that. So it was definitely like a rebuild process, and we're a part of that beginning of it. So to see where that place was, right, with the old weight room and just the nastiness of it all to what it is now, is truly amazing. And obviously you were a part of it too, and you see how that place is now.
It's a fun place to come visit a game. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I was hungover for like 2 weeks. It was crazy, man.
It
was a hoot. But
I went back a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, one of the first games, and I had a little Hail Mary little thing at a store. So I didn't get too crazy. I just popped in, saw the game, and left. But I saw some highlights of you chugging some beers. I knew that was going to be a rough next couple of days for you.
Yeah. No, well, the Holy Spirit, my spirit was full, and my body was full of the worst toxins, just sludge, just coming out of me. It was crazy. But the great thing I've talked about before on this thing is that Bills Mafia is also extremely philanthropic.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about that foundation that you have and all that you've done, I believe you established it in 2015, and then you got it going in 2017. You got the softball game.
Yes.
Which, I mean, talk about one of the staples around town. This thing case selling out every year,
awesome.
15,000, 16,000 folks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Palpable energy, the offense versus defense, and it's raised well over $1 million so far.
Mm-hmm.
Just really cool stuff. Talk about when you had the inception of that. It's become truly one of the biggest charity of like sporting events in the country.
Yeah.
Which is
badass.
bananas.
Yeah.
But also attributed to yourself, but also attributed. It's crazy. So tell us a little bit about that. And also, I kind of want to know what it's like now that, you recruit guys from the locker room, but you're not in the locker room anymore.
Yeah.
So is that a little bit different with that?
For sure. Yeah. So I'll touch on the kind of the beginning. Yeah. So the foundation has been around for a while, and I even had it. So I started in college as a class project, but then all the way through, like I mentioned, Green Bay, I was trying to make a name for myself. I didn't have time to do, all this other extracurricular stuff and everything. So it wasn't until I got to Buffalo, and we had like a backpack drive. We had like our Kicks for Kids events where we hand out Nikes for kids for Christmas, and like you just see the support that the community was giving us. And oh my gosh, like. This is, I was like that. Green Bay is like that as well. I'm not saying they're not, but that, we just didn't have those events there at that time. But then just the overwhelming support coming from Bills Mafia, just every event that we did. And when I was in Green Bay, we had that softball game. I think back then it was like Doherty Nelson softball annual or charity softball game. So I attended it all 4 years. I was in Green Bay, and it's such a fun event, right? Because it's just the players coming together, obviously for a good cause. And so we all had fun, and, guys are drinking, guys are having fun, talking junk, stuff like that for a few hours on Sunday. So, I was able to bring that to Buffalo. And the first year, I think we had 2,000, 3,000 people, and it just slowly kept getting bigger and bigger. Obviously, it's like the players make that event, right? It's Josh Allen hitting home run. They all want to see that. It's you guys, chugging beers and laughing and doing all that type of stuff. Like that's what it's about. But slowly from, having 2,000 fans there and all the proceeds going to, my foundation that we would disperse back into the community. I don't even know if, I don't know if you know, but last year what we did is we divided it all up evenly. So every guy on the team that had a nonprofit, we all split the proceeds. So we were able to get every guy on the team that had a nonprofit, got $35,000 last year. And so so we did that purposely because, this is a game that we want to continue to have and host, whether if my name's on it or not. Like imagine for youth and myself, and my family, we want to be able to go back and host it, and kind of have it be, a spark for maybe some guys who want to start a nonprofit. And this is a way of doing it, filing a 501c3 and then having that game and they get $35,000. Like that goes a long way to be able to start a foundation. Like if I would have had that at the very beginning back in 2018, I'd be doing some big things now. So that's kind of where we wanted to get to. And obviously the guys that have nonprofits, and a lot of the guys that do, with Deion Dreamers and DHAMs, everybody's nonprofits doing great stuff. This is just something to continue to fuel it, and it goes back. Our two musts are you have to attend the game, obviously, and then two, that money that is donated to your nonprofit has to go right back into Western New York, right? Because that's where the money is coming from, so it has to go right back into. Yep. So now it's not just the Imagine for Youth hitting it from one angle. You have 8 to 10 different angles of nonprofits that are going back into the community every single year from that game. And so it's amazing. And not being in that locker room anymore, to answer your next question, is like, it's very weird, right? Because when you're retired, like you don't have a place in the locker room. Like, it's like, you're not there anymore, right? So for me, I've definitely leaned on D-Dawk and Greg Rousseau, D-Ham, and all those guys, just because they understand the magnitude of this game and what it can do for, people's nonprofits. And so I've kind of just been leaning on them to kind of, spread the word and stuff like that, because I don't want to feel like I'm being a pest, or I'm like hitting up guys on Instagram and stuff like that. Like, it's weird, even though they don't think it's weird. They know me, they know what I'm trying to do. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm trying to keep everybody, at an arm's length and be like, hey, you guys handle especially during the football season, right? Like, handle your guys' stuff like that. So it can be overwhelming sometimes just trying to get a hold of people, but they all handle it well. And, that's kind of my connection is the guys that have nonprofits right now.
Well, Casey, I'll tell you what, life's about people helping people, isn't it? Yep. And Micah Hyde's helping people, and one of my favorite things is hitting it from different angles.
Hitting it from different angles.
That's all you want to do, Mike. That's life, man. You're just trying to hit as many different angles as you possibly can.
I'm glad you heard that. I'm glad you're repeating it. Yep.
Yeah. It's people helping people and hitting from different angles. It's the best. But also, dude, so we're in a totally different space here. It is kind of an interesting battle that Casey and I are going through for this, right? This podcasting thing. It is true. Like, you feel like a pest asking guys, right? And they might not feel that way, but it's just like, I remember what people were hitting me up for, like stuff. And even if they're buddies, like, I know how that made me feel, and it's my greatest qualm. But at least you're doing it by, I can't believe that you're doing that. I mean, $35,000 for folks. $35,000 is no small piece of cheese.
Oh, no, truly. Man. It can only grow, right? Like, it's only, our plan is to get it to grow. So, man, that was just something we tried. The year before that, we were able to give out $10,000 to each guy. But then last year, like, I wasn't even in the locker room. So I'm like, how do I take what we started within this game and build it to a next level? And it wouldn't make sense for the Imagine for Youth and myself to, basically say, hey, all guys come to this charity softball game. Then I'm going to keep the proceeds. Like, that's ridiculous. So at the end of the day,
but on the flip side, there's folks that you're giving this large amount of money to that you might not know personally.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so exactly. It's a give and take, right? Like, so you have to put implicit trust in guys, and I'm sure there's vetting processes and stuff, but inherently it's cool. Football inherently tries you mentally and physically, right? Physical ailments, going through stuff mentally, it's inevitably part of the script that you're dealt with. It doesn't make it easier, but inherently when you put a helmet on, you ensue certain risks. That being said, there are certain risks and injuries that you see happen or that are inflicted upon yourself that make you question if the juice is worth the squeeze.
Exactly.
Micah went through one that was pretty intense, and that was having his disc in his neck fused, and they had to go through the front, if I remember.
Yeah.
And dude.
Yeah, it was pretty
so crazy. It's insane. And I remember you wore that bone thing around your neck, and you're like, I'm good. I'm actually stronger than ever before. And we're like, fuck that, dude. Like, that's insane. That's insane.
Like everything, like everyone's like, you good? I'm like, yeah, man, I'm stronger than ever, bro. Come on, we got a game. I got titanium in my, and you're pushing to come back at the end of the season. It was really cool, and exactly what you want from a leader in the locker room. But you have to, even if you're putting this good energy out towards your friends, you have to have these conversations as a family. I had 6 concussions. It's a conversation I had in a different spectrum, right? You came back, you played, and you played great. How do you have those conversations? What do those look like? And then inherently, when you step on the football field for that first time, you take that first big hit. What was that moment like? Well, it was the moment itself was scary, right? Because when it happened, I knew I had disc issues dating back to Green Bay. And so it was just lingering, sore necks and all this type of stuff for years. And eventually when that happened, some random Monday night game, week 2 of the season against the Titans, when that happened, it was very eye-opening because I was like, wow, like, oh, shoot, like this is, I felt it down my arms. I even felt down one of my legs. And I was like, yeah, I'm not messing with this. Like, this is totally different. And listen, like, we all love football to death, right? Like, especially watching a game now or going on, seeing like I was at a college football, I was at an Iowa game a few weeks or months ago, whatever. Seeing the guys hitting on the field and stuff. I'm like, how the hell did I do that for the last 20 years? Like, it's bizarre. But, when it happened to me, Amanda and I had a bunch of long conversations about it. And I think that the best thing that happened to me was, yes, I was working my ass off to get back. And the crazy thing is, if we would have beat Cincinnati in that home playoff game, that next game, depending on, remember it was like a weird who had the 1 seed, we would have been in Atlanta against like KC or some odd location. I don't know.
Yep.
Then I think I would have tried to play in that game, but I think that was God's way of saying, like, I'm not saying losing was a great thing, but giving myself more time. Right, because that wasn't. Looking back now, I was like, dude, I should not have played in that game. But then that gave me the whole offseason to really get stronger, and that was probably the strongest I had. And I can confidently say that was the strongest I'd ever been because I was working out for almost a year straight, like just getting jacked every single day. And so I felt good once the football season started. That next training camp. So when I started hitting again, I didn't even think about it until. It was that one game that we had at Cincinnati, and I think we ended up losing. Yes. It was like week 8, week 9 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I started kind of getting a little like stinger-ish type things again. And I was like, oh man, I thought I was over that. Like, and so that was also very eye-opening to me because I had to fight through that the rest of the season. I would go like one game not having anything, and the next game get another stinger, and I'd be out for the next game or 2. And so I barely made it through that 23 season. And then we lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs. And after that, like, I basically knew I was done. And it's a hard thing to kind of comprehend because, like I've always said, like if you can run and you can, play fast in the league, you can play for a long time. And I always felt like I had the speed to do it. I still feel like I can, if I train myself, I have the speed to do it. But I didn't know it was going to be something like a neck injury that was going to, catch up to me and basically like humble me, right? And so that was very eye-opening to me. So really I had, after the 23 season, I had the 22 season when I was hurt, I really had a lot of time to think about what I wanted to do after football, right? And kind of like, understand that if I was done playing, like, who am I as a person? What do I want to do moving forward? Obviously, we have vacation rentals and, our nonprofit and stuff like that I knew was going to be able to keep us busy, especially with the kids and sports and stuff. So I've always just kind of leaned into that a little more and said, hey, like, I'm going to really focus on things because when my time is done, like, completely, I would have something to like really just take my attention away and keep me busy. And so that's really what's happened. Like I feel like Amanda's always said, like, how do you just seamlessly transition from being a player into, being retired? Yeah, because I number one, you're a humble dude. As long as you be yourself and, have it, pursue life with high character and don't think that you're anybody that you're not, and then just continue on with goals and stuff that you want to do outside of football. It wasn't that bizarre to me.
Clarity is an interesting thing.
That's a hard thing. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah,
because like when you're in sport and you're playing, that's it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm an athlete and that's what I'm doing. And when the day comes, you have that hard conversation in the mirror about, do I continue this, or there's an injury that inevitably decides for you. It's like, what do I do now? Who am I as a person, not an athlete? And that's a really hard thing for people to grasp and move forward with.
Yeah.
Well, clarity is interesting because sometimes you feel like you have it, and I feel like we're both in a place where clarity gave us grace, and it's one of those things that you see a lot of guys go through this and not have that clarity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or have this thing. And not to say we don't have our days where we feel like we have that itch to do something. I don't know if it's football, but I don't know. And then you look back, and is it your ego or is it your pride? And what is it? And maybe I think it's just being antsy for the next phase of life. It's the unknowingness of what's next rather than wanting to go back to what it was, right? Because like you knew exactly what you're getting, what to do in that frame. This is so new and foreign. But okay, one of my favorite things, Micah, is that you guys, you and Amanda, I'm going to talk about a slam dunk home run hit as a gal. One of my favorite folks on earth. She's the best.
Yeah.
She's way cooler than you, which is cool. We all, the Lord works in mysterious ways. But you guys would take Halloween to the extreme. They would do Case. Oh, I'm telling you, pal. They would come in and they'd have these makeup artists come in.
We got Christmas from the Williams.
Well, you did get Christmases from the Williams, but I'm telling you, like for Halloween, you guys would come in and it would just be like to the nines dressed.
I thought you were talking about hosting the party. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
No, but hosting the party, I do want to talk about that because that's a responsibility in itself.
Yeah.
Okay, so they would always take, and I think really there was always these one or two really fun couples that whatever team you were on, whatever year you were on, that kind of spearheaded not only the groups with the gals, like I feel like Amanda was also spearheading just like the gals getting together, but also they kind of put up and really kind of bedazzle themselves, not just the gals, but the dudes, and do it really great. You guys would always dress up really well, and one I think the best year you got was in 2022 when you came back because you had gotten that neck. You came back and you dressed up. And Case, I don't know how, but all I did was dress up as a lady. You remember this? And I dressed up. I got a big old busty lady, and somehow I was even in the same sphere as these folks. But tell us about leaning into. Okay, so like Halloween, it's something that we would do as a players. Christmas, we do something as a players. How important that is, because I feel like you guys always put a vested interest in it. Funds, of course, you hosted, like you said, the Christmas. Tell folks how important that is for a team and why that was so important for you and Amanda.
It was important for us just because we wanted to be able to do anything we can to help the team. And as we both know, any NFL player knows, like having a wife at home and keeping them happy is, more than half
impossible.
Yeah, impossible, right? Like it's tough, right? Especially in Buffalo when you got snowstorms, stuff like that. So it was always important for me to see Amanda have fun, and then obviously Amanda she's a host at heart, man. Like that's how her family is, right? So it's a huge family. Family gets together, everyone's hosting and doing that type of thing. So. I kind of got lucky in that sense. She's kind of taught me a lot about, just hosting and having people over at the house and everything. So when we would put on these events, like we want people to feel special. Like we want them to go to these events and be like, we can't wait for next year. Like same thing with the softball game, right? Like that's just how we are. And so it's very important to a team. I just think that you can be in the locker room and you can be having your conversations, but once you do things outside of they're off the football field together, that's when you really build that bond. And that's something that, coaches and whatever had taught us our entire lives. So I've always just tried to continue on with that. And it really was the guys before me and, guys in Green Bay that would host those same parties. And then once I got to Buffalo, it was, Kyle Williams, and then just other people putting on the parties and stuff for us. So, it was always important for me to kind of, carry the torch and then eventually hand it off when we got done. So, kind of just carrying on that legacy there.
I gotta tell you, one of my favorite things was Case Tuesdays.
It also just
usually
shows
run on Mondays.
that you care. When you're on a sports team, you're not just teammates. Like you're family. That's your family. You're with them more than your actual family. And then whenever you can combine everybody's wives and significant others, whatever, into that and just have everybody together outside of the facility, that's awesome. I was like that when I played too. I was always the guy that had the parties, that hosted people. And, because you always want to make sure everybody's included and really hone in on the fact that, we're not just teammates. Like this is a big family that we should do all these things together.
Correct.
And more than anything, it was fun to come in on Tuesdays and see the boys struggling.
Dude, I hated that. I hated it after every party, because I would always come in and like Gabe Davis, dude, you were so lit last night. Like you did this. You know how you have
that would
like,
be something Gabe would say.
That hungover guilt where you're like, dude, I don't know what happened. Like, and Josh is a peer pressure, right? Mm-hmm. So if he's having fun, he wants everybody else to have fun. So he'd always get me, he'd always get me to have maybe one or two more than what I'd like. And then the next day I'd come in super hungover, and it was always Gabe. Dude, you said this or you did this. I'm like, dude, get out of my face. I'm doing that. I already have guilt.
Well, no, Gabe, he's an instigator, but also, when Josh gets that little like thing in his eye where he's just going and he gets that little glaze. Oh, it's
it's a good time.
Everybody's going with him.
It's a blast. It's just the next day, the next 2 days, 3 days. It's like, shit, man, I got to figure out how to get my life back.
Wednesday practice sucked ass.
Yeah.
Sucked ass. All right, hey, dude, listen, you got a movie to catch. I got 2 more questions for you.
Yeah,
we're going to let you bounce, all right? Okay, so I asked this to Eric Wood a few episodes ago, but I always found it interesting. So you were in a locker room, of course, through college, pros, 12 years. Say you know what you know now. You can pull from every player you played with. Who were the 2 teammates you had that you would walk into a locker room and you would hate to see as a rookie?
Man, the two guys that I would hate to, like, I'm a rookie or they're being rookies?
Yes, that you're a rookie. You're like, oh no.
Oh man, the 2 guys I would hate to see as a rookie. Man, that's a tough question. You're gonna have to give me some time to think about that one.
That's fine. Well, I can give you another question.
Lil Dirty was one of them.
Oh,
just because rookie or being a 12-year vet didn't matter. I just didn't want to see him in the locker room, right? Like he just was on my nerves 24/7. So I'm just gonna throw Lil Dirty out there. But as far as anybody else to see in the locker room, I don't know, man.
Hey, to be honest, since you don't have like an immediate answer, you were in some really good locker rooms.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, I don't feel like I got like there were some guys in college that were pretty wild, but I was on their good side, right? So I didn't really have to.
Huge.
I was one of the young guys just being quiet and trying to make plays, so I didn't really have to like get stuck in the locker or do some crazy stuff like what they had to do. But I can't really sit down this interview. But
of course,
I don't.
Hey, that's a perfectly good answer.
Yeah,
that's a perfect. We can do one. Little Dirty is enough for 2.
Exactly.
2. He's enough for 2 folks.
Or
all right, last question.
Half of an answer.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen, the Holy Spirit wakes you up and gives you a vision in the night. Said, Mikey, you've been awesome. You've been a great dude. Yep. Here's what I've done. I've packed a plane for you. It's a one-way ticket, or it's a 2. It's going to Las Vegas for 3 nights, all included, whatever you want, and a flight back. But you can only bring 2 teammates. Who are the 2 teammates you're bringing to Las Vegas for a 3-day weekend?
2 team.
And you got 20 minutes to decide.
You do, yeah.
So it's like
you got 20 minutes to decide to pick up the phone.
But also, the Holy Spirit's in your favor. He's just gonna like you say it. They're on the plane.
Man, we just got to talk about JA. We just got to talk about him, how he's a good time,
Josh,
right?
He's a great time.
That'd be a good. I mean, honestly, if you bring him to Vegas, you can go anywhere, do anything you want, right? he can open up so many doors that no.
He's actually the Holy Spirit, which is why.
Exactly.
So there you go. He was the one telling.
So I'm gonna pick him, and I gotta ride with my boy J Poe, just because I feel like when it comes to the tables, I think he might be able to do some damage, and I might just slide him a couple hundred or something, say, hey, make this work. I'm not big at gambling and doing whatever, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna ride with them, man, and then if you're available and one of them can't make it, man, we can
shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck.
We can make that work too.
I mean, listen, a pity invite's better than no invite. I'll take that. Well,
Yeah.
so it's interesting because Josh, of course, has that demon that lives
Mhm.
inside of him that if you let it loose is great. But Jordan's also like he's the yin to that yang we had talked about earlier. Like,
Yeah.
of course, he's in a different headspace in life. He's in a beautiful spot, but you get him on the dice table,
Yeah.
or you get him hitting those. It's beautiful.
Yep.
I can't tell you how much fun this conversation's been. I can't tell you how much of a privilege it was. I can tell you, I'm telling you right now, I can't overstate enough how much of a privilege it was to be your teammate, to see you do your thing, to get to know your family, to get to know your two kids. If you ever get an opportunity to talk to Micah Hyde, it's a conversation worth having because you're a great dude, and it was fun to see you do your thing. It was poetry in motion like we talked about, man. God bless you, my friend. We're always here if you need us. If you ever end up growing out your mustache and wanting to fuck it up, give me a shout.
I'll come shout you. I play Missouri again, and we make that bet, and I lose. But no, man, Mitch, you've been a blessing to us too, man. Just you're a quieter guy, but just seeing the way you work and the way you was in that training room, and you were beat the hell up, dude, all the time, and you were not feeling it most of the time, but you was out there on Sundays or Mondays, Thursdays, whatever the hell day, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and COVID and Tennessee, man. You were making it happen. So I was extremely excited when you hit me up and said, to join the podcast because, you're a special person with a beautiful family and wish nothing but the best, man. So, Casey, nice to meet you,
Micah
man.
Hyde.
You too, bro.
Micah, dog, I can't wait to see you. Put my paws on you soon. That is Micah Hyde, All-Pro, Pro Bowler, and more importantly
Legend.
than anything, a good person.
Thank you.
There's nothing I can do about it now.